All right. Welcome back to Central Booking, your portal to fantastical realms of books and literature. We're your co-hosts, Rod and Jay. Please join us each and every week as we embark on quests through enchanted forests, faith, mythical creatures, and unravel the secrets of spellbinding stories. Whether you're a seasoned fantasy reader or just discovering the world of magic, we will explore the latest releases and discuss beloved classics and chat with incredible people. So grab your wizard staff, prepare your spells, and let's get lost in the pages of imagination. I just want to put out there, I want to apologize for not having a episode last week. Family life was just crazy to say the least, but we're back and our goal is to give y'all a weekly episode. So welcome back. If you haven't done so already, please follow us on all of our channels. You can find us at TikTok at central.booking podcast. Our YouTube is Central Booking Podcast. Spotify is Central Booking. Our IG is Central Booking Podcast. Share with your friends, your family. And if you want to go to our link trees, it's all linked there for you guys to go follow us and show us some support. But today we're still discussing Blood at the Root, Ladarian Williams. We're going to be finishing Act 1, chapters 4 through 6.
Yep.
All right. What do you think so far of Act 1?
I think Malik is having trouble accepting the fact that he has family. And we're going to see as this long ride, he's battling between, just meeting his new family and the fact that he does have a grandmother, but never apologize for, family first. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always going to be family first before
family
anything.
First. It's their priority number one. Absolutely.
If they missed us, they'll have enough of us and there'll be no excuse moving forward.
Right. Yep. So I was talking to Rod probably the week before last after our first full episode, and we're going to try to do a little different format this episode for you, where we're going to give y'all a chapter summary before we dive into the details, just to kind of make sure we're hitting all of our bases.
That's right.
Because I personally felt very disorganized. I could not gather my thoughts. So I was like, I want to be organized so I could bring y'all the energy I know I can bring.
There you go. Let them have it. Let them have it.
All right. So we're going to start with our chapter 4 summary.
Right.
So Malik and Tay, they're still making their way to Mama Aya's. At the end of chapter 3, we learned that he has a grandmother. It's a shock to us all. And, but his plans have not changed. He is still heading to Cali. He's just going to Mama Aya's. He wants to get Tay healed, and he's not feeling this found family just yet.
True.
He starts to sense his magic getting a little stronger as he gets closer and closer.
Yeah.
He arrives and we see another character we were introduced to in the previous chapter, Sam, and he's wondering, what the hell is he doing here? Right. He finally gets to meet Mama Aya, and he quickly lets her know he's not happy about any of this because all of his questions, where the hell have you been for the past 10 years? But as he gets to talking with her, going through the house, his memories that he has suppressed start coming back to him. Let's see here. We learn where his magic comes from. We get confirmation that Malik's mom probably is not dead. We continue to see the trauma that Malik is carrying around.
That's right.
We see some possible foreshadowing that mom might have been involved with some dark magic.
Magic. That Bane magic.
Yes. And we learn a little bit more on the history of his family and his magic. And Cayman University comes into play in these next 3 chapters. So chapter 4, what did you think?
Chapter 4 wasn't as big as chapter 5 is going to be. I believe I'm listening to the audiobook.
No worries. Y'all, my bad.
No worry.
Right.
Yeah, we'll edit that one out.
Yeah. All right. I'm back.
So chapter 4 isn't as big as chapter 5. Chapter 4 or 6 is not as big as chapter 5, where chapter 5 is almost an hour, where the other chapters are 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes the last one. When you would expect Malik to go through something like this, as he's navigating. But it's funny that when he goes there, he sees cousin Bridget.
I'm Brigitte.
Brigitte. Yeah, she's over there dancing with Sam, and Sam is just like, "Damn girl, you're gonna give me a heart attack." You know what I'm saying? He's showing the love, and that's the first thing that they're showing, which I feel like not there, but that Ladarian is showing. He's showing unity. He's showing that we do have significant others. We're not just out here single and mingling. He gave us a real family oriented first sight.
Yes.
A big family,
He quickly comes across new family members at every turn here, right?
Yes. Cousins.
We did a lot of world building, I feel like, in chapter 4, where I felt like it went on forever, but we were just kind of getting like a dump here of information.
Right.
And so, yes, I love Malik ain't having it, but I love how they're quickly showing him it's not just Mama Aya here.
Right.
You got all this family, Auntie Brigitte, and I love how they're so welcoming with Tay here.
Yeah, they love Tay. They love Tay. I like the fact that they took care of Tay. Yeah. And we get to see later on in chapter 5, how they don't cure it, but how they suppress his diabetes. And I know you'll get to that. Yeah. But it's just like Malik he's astounded. While he's astounded, he feels ashamed. He feels let down. And that brings his guard up in these next couple of chapters. This is where we get to see Malik at his most vulnerable, at his most closed off. We get to see the heighten of, his outbursts, and how not having your family as a young man makes you out to be. It makes you bitter, it makes you cold, and not cold towards other people, because we see that he loves Tay, but he's gravitated to Tay so much since that's been his only family for the last couple years. He feels like he's a protector, and it's like, dude, you're 17, you're not a protector yet. You don't even really understand what's about to happen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All of that. Because you would think him wondering where family has been for the past 10 years, that he would just open arms, right? But he's hesitant.
Nah, he's like, not going to do that.
Yeah, he's like, no, where you been? Like, why have I had to go through everything I went through by myself? Yep. Why have I had to be the protector for my foster brother when I had all this family. Right? Yep. And the first thing I noticed when he's getting to Mama Aya's is the big tree on the property.
We'll play a part next time.
He sees the blue bottles, and there goes that blue again. Mm-hmm. And so I immediately said, why are they zeroing in on this tree? So I feel like this is where the root of their magic is coming from. There you go. So I said, what's the significance, the relevance of the blue? I made some notes here, like we're looking at root and ancestral magic. We'll see here, I don't know if it's 4 or 5. He kind of goes on this like ancestral vision type of thing with Mama Aya.
I think it's in 4.
Okay. Yeah. And so, but he notices as he's getting closer to family, he's not wanting to own up to that. His magic is on literal, like he senses it. It's getting stronger. And so I don't know if he's putting 2 and 2 together just yet, but he's getting closer to his ancestors, his family. So, and we learn also that he ain't nothing to be messed with. His magic is powerful, lethal.
It is definitely
compared to what they've seen in the past with the family. So I did notice. I don't know if you picked up. I wrote it down here. I'm sorry. I'm just
no. Go ahead.
Because I've never seen a black rooster. But I read I don't know if you read Legendborn. With ancestral magic and root magic, it's used for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. So he said that, and I was just like, I read about them last year. And so I did a little bit of detail, diving on that. I was just diving. Yeah, because you'd think black rooster, because even Malik was like, the fuck? What is that?
What is that?
Yeah. But I did notice, because we picked up on the last one, how they put all that magic on the car to get him to Mama Aya's, and the minute he arrives, the car just shuts down. Mm-hmm. You're home. We don't need to run that magic.
We don't need to run that. Right. Yeah. Nah, I like the ancestral train that they took in this one, and I feel like that was his homecoming, and I feel like that's where he got serenaded, almost like baptized. Absolutely. Now your magic is pure. Now your magic is come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Now you can use your magic without cause. There's no blockages. It's like being born again, being brand new. Because even with the ancestors, him noticing that the ancestors noticed him when they was doing the dance around him and stuff like that. And then he also had the dipping. Remember, he said he couldn't breathe. It's like when you're going underwater, when you're getting baptized, you couldn't breathe. But none of that happened until after all the dancing and everything stopped. It was
there's a certain, we'll get to that little end of the vision where he, for some reason, I'm just like, ooh, Mama was into some stuff she shouldn't have been into, probably.
Yeah. She got that note.
Yep. But I was like, when I was, that Bane magic. But yeah, I had to look up the whole, cause I'm all about the like symbolism and what things stand for. So I had to do my, like I was mentioning, the side research on the Black Rooster. And so when we're talking about root magic, ancestral magic, you know, it's considered a really powerful symbol, and it's like associated with protection, banishment.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Removing negativity due to, you know, aggressive natures. And so you're seeing very early on with the tree and the blue bottles, the Black Rooster. We learn here soon why it has not been around. And you're like wondering, is Mama the negative energy? Like what's going on with Mama? And then it's also sometimes it requires, for it to give you that protection, it requires either a sacrifice or an offering. As part of a spell to cleanse a situation or a person. So yeah, I was just like, okay, who are we trying to keep away, right?
Right.
It's unfortunate we find that, you know, we're getting some foreshadowing that Mama was into some shit she shouldn't have been into.
Yeah. Understood that.
And then Sam, I love Sam. I don't know, Sam's one of my favorite characters.
I told you Orlando Jones could play Sam. Like that's him, and I feel like the dude Christopher B. Duncan from the Jamie Foxx show could play Professor Bonclair.
Yes,
you know that light skin. I totally see that. You know what I'm saying? Like uppity. You know, like his character on the Jamie Foxx show, but just with more or less a little bit of rhythm now, a little bit of soul. Take that quirkiness out, you know, and he has that high prestige voice and that high prestige demeanor, like where he could wear the sweater with the shirt over. So I feel like those two characters right there would definitely be, you know, true instruments inside his book if it gets detailed into a movie. But
I would love to see it go into a movie. I learned, I sent it to you before the last episode. He presented this at first as a movie, and they didn't take him up on it. And then they said, he's like, I'm going to try to do a book. And so hopefully he's gaining that traction. I was excited to see book 2 cover. It's coming out in 2025. I cannot wait. I'm really hoping they can make this into a movie franchise too, because I would love to see that come to life.
To fruition. Right. Yeah. So that was pretty much chapter 4 in a nutshell.
Yep. So yeah, he finally meets Mama Aya, tells her she's not happy. He does see her ancestor altar, takes her on that vision. Let me see. We talked about, what did she call their magic? Cave. I can't remember. I didn't listen to the audio this go around, so I was So we learned what their magic is about, and that he comes from a powerful line of ancestor and, you know, generational magic. We learned that Mama Aya is very well respected. What she says kind of goes. She said, "Y'all go inside. I got to talk to my grandma." She's
floating around.
But he ends that vision. Oh no, let's bring up the vision. What happens at the end of the vision when he goes on his like little ancestral communing, where you mentioned he's underwater, like he's being baptized, and he feels like, why can't I breathe? And then at the end, he sees his mom.
Yeah, he sees his mom's, and it is like, it takes away from, you know, his magic. And it's like, well, why would you see your mother that happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, but he still doesn't say like what the vision is, like what he had, what was going on. He just,
but he's like,
he remembers what he wants to remember.
Yeah. And then he hears from Mama Aya, I don't think she's dead. And his immediate was, so I didn't kill my mom. That was gut wrenching for me. It's like he's carrying around this guilt that he did
that because he
did that. And then he quickly starts saying, that's, you know, he's that protector. He goes, if she's alive and she's been gone for 10 years, if she hasn't come for me, there's a reason. And I didn't look hard enough is basically kind of what he says. And it's like, kid, you were sick. Well, he was 6 or 7. Like you were 7. Like, wasn't much you could do back then.
But even still, she does say, she does tell him like that she felt the connection. And then when his mother disappeared, the connection was gone. And she didn't even know that he was out there, because she said she would have, and I believe her, she would have scoured the earth to find him. You know, and even though that she knew he was out there, she didn't know what happened to him. But my thing is, if you knew you had a grandson, because remember she said, that's where I slapped you on your little booty before your mother, And he was maybe 2 or 3 when the mother took him and left. So you knew he was out there. So my thing was, well, why didn't you go get him regardless? You knew he was out there. Whether the magical, connection was severed, you still knew you had a grandchild. So the same way you sent Sam to the gas station was the same way you could have sent Sam before.
Well, the reason why she sent him to the gas station was she mentioned, I stopped sensing you the minute your mom left. And for 10 years, I've been reaching out. So they kind of mention it too, that apparently being able to sense one's magic, I guess not everyone can do that. But then all of a sudden, when he got angry with the Carwells, it's like it surged and she finally felt him. And so we kind of learn, okay, you couldn't sense him, you couldn't look for him, but you couldn't look into
said that
you couldn't see what foster care he was in. I don't know.
She did say that. She said, I remember she said it. She said she broke down everything to him. But my thing was when you broke down everything, she broke down everything to him. So when I'm like, all right, if you broke down all of this stuff to him, why didn't you send Sam early? Right. Then I'm thinking, I don't even know if Sam is a real person. Not that he's not a real person. I gotta get the word, but I think he is somebody that's summoned to protect them versus.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we're going to see later on when she sends when she sends him away, it's almost like she sends a spirit away.
Right. I got the vibes like that too, the first go round.
Like he's more like a
spirit or
a spirit being. Yeah. Because even when Alexis needs, we'll talk about that later.
We don't want to give too much away. But okay, I missed that part where she broke it down.
When we get to the part of how she dismisses Sam and she tells him to go away, but it's like we'll definitely talk about that.
Right?
But,
yeah. At the end of chapter 5, he grabs for his mom's necklace in this vision. And
no, that's 4.
At the end. Did I say 5?
Yeah.
My bad. I meant the chapter 4 where he grabs the necklace and all of a sudden he feels like he can't breathe because he's still underwater. And I was just like, and usually when something like that happens that affects like the magical things that are going on, it's like there's something dark going on with this necklace. So, and we learn,
But I see what he did there because, we're Harry Potter fans. So anytime he touches Horcrux, that's when you get the visions. So these are the versions of Horcruxes and
so I was like,
blood at the root. So that's kind of like the connection that I felt between the Harry Potter and this series going on. And that was kind of like the end of chapter 4.
Yep, that was chapter 4. We just got a lot of just history of where his kind of magic comes from. Kaveh, yeah.
That's
and then Bane magic. We learned Bane magic is she was into not so good things. We don't know too much about Bane magic just yet.
Is like the elegant magic, the savior magic, the grace magic. And Bane is like that dark magic. Yep. As we're going to see later on in the next episode, Professor Kumale.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in here that kind of grab at your heartstrings and you really connect with them. And then I'm not going to give too much away, and then you're just like, I liked you.
Right. We was rooting for you
so much now. But so that was chapter 4, and then there's chapter 5. I'm just going to go into the summary and then I'll let you kick off like details here. But we're still, Malik talks about his grief journey a little bit more. He's still having a really hard time trusting, Mama Aya. He's having doubts. Again, the doubts are ever forefront. He's like, is my mom really dead? Because Mama Aya doesn't believe it. And so he's like, he didn't want to hope, but now he's just like, can I hope that she's not dead? He's in his old room going down memory lane because Tay is staying in his old room and Malik is staying in what was his mom's room. And we get a little bit of backstory of what she might have been into. We get a new character, Taryn, that I'm not a fan of. We get some more details.
Headmaster Bonclair.
Yeah. We get a little bit more details on the, Cayman HBCU for the magically gifted. And end of chapter 5, we're getting a welcome party for Malik with all of his family and aunties and uncles and cousins. But it's not the happy family reunion you would think because Malik is still not my damn family. He's still very much angry because he's like, I missed out on all of this.
I see all of y'all dancing and happy around. Right. My little cousins electrocuting, having magic. His new cousin that he just met for the first time. She got magic. But even before that, when we get to when he wakes up, Tay is not healed, but they gave him a concoction, is what I'll call it.
Concoction. They're treating it naturally, herbally.
To suppress his diabetes. And it's like, they feel like it's better than the average modern medicine. You know, their magic is in their roots. Another word that I feel like is their roots and their magic, which I feel like Tay is going to pop up with his own powers, you know.
Oh man, I'd love to see that. Yeah.
But that's just wishful thinking. Wild. But they gave Tay his concoction to kind of, and they explain that it's not going to cure his diabetes, but it's going to, you know, just help him get through it a lot better than he would between the modern medicine.
Managed a little bit better.
And then we get to the next part where Malik is letting Mama Ayu know that, you know, he's going to be going back to Cali. You know, he just, you know, stayed here for a few to kind of get Tay in there, and you know, Mama Aya is like, okay, but you know, before you go, let's you know, you meet your family after. So then when he meets his family, he's like, he's like, man, there's so much going on. I felt like it was a negative stimulant. He's seeing all of these people who could have came and looked for him, and now y'all throwing me a party only because I came here because my brother was sick.
Right.
If my brother wasn't sick and my mother wouldn't have passed away, or even if I would have had a good foster home, I would have never met y'all. So here he is. He's just overly stimulated with anger, grief, mistrust.
But trust issues for sure.
That's the big thing. Yeah. And he just lashes out at everybody. You're not my damn family. And he walks away.
Damn family, and walks away. Yep. And you know, he's still, you know, he's going through those motions of grief, and grief is it's not linear. You cycle through those stages of grief over and over again.
True.
So he's lashing out, and he's still grieving because yes, he lost his mom 10 years ago, but it's that, where's the body? Is she really dead? And you don't have any closure for that. And they're just picking up like 10 years haven't just passed, you know, like nothing happened. Like, we need to have more conversations.
Shaking and all that. Like, ain't no dancing.
Exactly.
Right. I came from the hood. I came from the bottom. Y'all out here living lavish. I got magic. Y'all got food.
Eating good.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all eating good. Mama Aya is cooking. Y'all just out here using magic. Meanwhile, I'm getting my tail whipped, stealing cars, trying to get my little brother.
Right. And so it's night and day, the upbringing, you know, and he's sensing that. He's feeling a little...
He's mad about it.
He's mad about it, resentful, and it's kind of like, damn, you know, why did I have to go through what I went through by myself? So he's grieving. You know, he mentions he's afraid that the memory of his mom is fading. He can only remember her screams, so he only has like bad memories of her, and it's tough. You know, I lost my best friend about 5 years ago. And that first year, it's just like, I only remembered her being super sick and me saying, damn, I should have been there more for her because she lived in a different state. I mean, and it's like, what now, 4 or 5 years? And I'm finally able to talk about her in a happy way. So I get what Malik is going through, but he's going through it as a 6-year-old to 17, or is it 6?
7 to 17.
Something like that. But he's young, he's going through this, and you know, to only remember your mom as screaming. Being scared.
That was your only memory.
That's your only memory. And so he's got questions, you know, and he's got all this family, and he's not trying to connect with them or bond with them because they're strangers to him. Right.
You
know,
and rightfully so. They are strangers to him. He doesn't really know them, and you can't expect somebody who doesn't have a relationship with you to just be all buddy, especially under these circumstances. Because I guarantee you, not even if the roles was reversed, but if he'd have came back and like his mother would have came back with him, like if she'd have brought him back home, it would have been a lot better. Because I got my mom with me and she's introducing me to family. That's a special occasion.
Yeah, and you know, he's got to think like in the back, they had a falling out for some reason. You know, and yes, maybe Mama Aya and Malik's mom both played a part in this, but knowing he was out there, could they have done more? I don't, it's tough, but
but my thing was, and we'll get to it, but it just makes me disbelieve. He said her mother was into something, right? Well, her mother said that she was into something, and we know because we read the book what she was into. But was she doing that over there in Atlanta? I mean, in Alabama?
I don't know, because they came looking for her. Remember those? They came looking for something.
So what she's still doing, and we'll get into that. But that was just something that I thought about, because that means she would have, when she left, that means she would have put all that behind her. Why is she still doing that, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is she doing that for?
She left, because remember, I think Mama Aya tells her, you stop or you get out.
Yeah.
Stop or get out. So I think she was just so
Far
deep
gone.
into, she even mentions, is it this one? I think it is chapter 5 where she was almost like addicted to whatever she was into. And so because she, when they went to go get her in Alabama, I think Malik even mentions it. He's like, were they here to kill her or to take her somewhere? And then Malik's, his magic manifest and he's going like, something's wrong. I got to get to my mom.
Right.
And then, his
all
magic manifest and we learned that Malik is a beast when it comes to
Super
his
beast.
magic and they're all in all of his raw magic. And so, I want to read more. I know I've read this already, but I feel like I'm reading it new again because I read it so fast last time.
Me too.
I don't think I absorbed any of it. So I'm learning along the way and I'm just like, I know Bane was bad. I know what she did, but I don't remember what she did. But I don't know. I'm still angry. I'm angry with Malik, honestly, because all that family and nobody, because my thing is, so you couldn't sense him. Okay.
Right.
But he had to go somewhere.
True.
Our first thought is foster care.
Why is he going to foster care if you know he's out there?
But you couldn't, I don't know. Can't you call foster care system? I don't know.
Like
I just feel like
could gave a better explanation. And I feel like at Bones of the Crossroads, at Bones of the Crossroads, I feel like we're going to get his mother's perspective because that's the missing piece.
Right.
We're missing, and we'll talk about that
we are
in
still
another
missing
video.
Something. I think Malik is being used as a pawn.
Right. And we ain't even going to get out of the way. But that was basically chapter 5. They had the party. Malik was going through more grief, more anguish, more turmoil with his inner self, thinking about why his family didn't come get him. They threw him a big party. He moves away from the party because he doesn't want to be involved in that. He just wants to do everything that he needs to do and he wants to bounce.
Yep.
That's all he wants to do. And that was like the beginning of chapter. That was like the whole chapter 5.
You ain't going nowhere. If they don't accept you, they don't accept both of us.
Right.
It's us against the world. He's not feeling this family. Yeah.
That's a fact. And then we move into chapter 6.
Chapter 6. Let me pull up my summary because I don't remember.
No.
Let me see here. I got some other things in here that I wrote about for chapter 5. Let's get into it real quick. I remember laughing and chuckling because I say Google is free, but he Googles Cayman University and nothing comes up.
Right.
So he's already skeptical. He's like, why is it not coming up? Well, because
he sees a Cayman sweater.
He sees a Cayman sweater. He's going down memory lane. He finds this brown wooden box in his mom's room, sees his picture, the vision So he sees pictures of his mom when he was young and he comes across this silver jewelry box. Yep. And she's got a gold necklace and he gets a vision when he touches it.
As soon as and why does he? Oh my God.
Yeah. And so, my thing is like, did she leave these little clues for him? I don't know. So she's sneaking to class after hours. They're telling her, you keep at it, you could be expelled. I can't do it. I'm addicted. Is this why Mama I and her had the falling out? We learn about another tribe because we learned Malik's tribe in chapter 4 or 5, but there's another tribe, Kwasan, and they're saying, if you don't stop, they're going to get involved. So are they like
So basically the Kwasan tribe, like he said, when she was talking to Taryn, they basically, I guess, is like magic police.
Right. And they're the magical police.
They're
they
the
keep
magic
everybody
police.
in line.
They keep everything in line because she said you was reckless with your powers at the gas station, and I had to send people to clean that up, erase memories, so that way even to the
what I say to that? Bump you, Taryn, because if y'all had got me 10 years ago, somebody could have been training me in my damn magic.
Exactly.
I digress. But we get the mention of the missing children again, and I think I immediately thought of Katia Washington.
I like the way you say her name. It says Spanish. That Spanish is something.
We meet Taryn Bonclair. I do not like Mr. Bonclair, but whatever.
I love Taryn. I love Taryn.
He just seems real pompous. I don't know.
And that's why I love him. He's like, yo, you don't even belong here. Like you are a in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So he learns Taryn also knew his mama. So Malik has all the questions regarding all her Do y'all know why she disappeared? Y'all got any, and none of the adults in his life are talking about his mom's disappearance. This is where we learn about herbs and burdock root and how they're going to treat diabetes and like the concoction, all that stuff. They mention here, this is where I kind of had questions where he's gifted. We know he's a force to be reckoned with. And he senses magic and he manifested it at a really young age. But they made it seem like, is it only Malik's family that can sense magic? They just
because Terran
says you can sense me, can't you?
But that means Terran could sense him. Because how would you know that he could sense him? But also, remember, Terran comes from a good line too, because his mother's like the head mistress, the head lady in charge. Mama Ayu just like to me, what I got is Mama Ayu's the strongest, but she don't deal in politics. And this lady is strong, but she's strong as hell as well. But she wants to be in charge. You know what I'm saying? She wants.
This is where he learns too that he's being tracked. And my thing is, have y'all been tracking him since he suddenly became discoverable, or were y'all tracking him before?
Because he used his magic that night, right?
Right, that part.
He used his magic with Alexis, right?
Right. So
who's
lying? Yeah.
I can't wait till some of this stuff get uncovered.
Yeah.
It has to. Yep.
And then I wrote this one down. You love Taryn. I love to hate him. But he tells Malik, that air of defiance you have reminds me of your mother. And I just put it in parentheses.
And that's when he went
I'm like,
crazy.
He's a prick.
And that's when
that's when he pops open the cabinet doors and goes crazy, and he's just like, "Oh, okay."
Like, yep. But Terran is like, see, and as he's talking ish, I could imagine him.
Yeah, he's like, see, that's why,
or like
that's
doing
why
this.
Right, I can't accept
you. And put it back together, and that's why I can't accept you because you're
in Cayman University, and Cayman was like, "Fuck Cayman
like
University, I don't even want to go."
Right. And I could hear how he said it too. You're a loose cannon like your mother.
Right.
Yeah.
He's an ass.
Set Malik off. That's why Malik used his magic. He was so mad. It's like, oh.
Yep. And then he goes, at the end, he's surrounded by so much family, but still very, very feeling much alone. It's him and Tay against the world. He's like, I don't care what family you present to me. They're not my damn family. That part.
I got you.
And then, so that's chapter 5. A lot happens. And chapter 6 was literally 2 pages long.
Yeah, it's not even long. It's literally just, I can go through that one. It's just him telling Mama Ayu that, maybe he's going to go to Cayman University because maybe it'll give him more details. I like what he did though. It was quick. It was to the point. It was letting him know that, I thought about leaving. Because Mama Aya comes into the room that he was in, and they was going through the pictures. Yeah. They was going through the pictures of the book, and Mama Aya was like, "I haven't been in here in so long." I guess because it reminds him of her daughter, his mother. Right. So she doesn't go into the room. So when she sees Malik sitting on the bed, kind of going through the pictures, she reminiscing too, like, "Oh, I remember when she did this. I remember when she did that," and it kind of is like, okay. And she's like, "Well, at least I could fix y'all something to eat before you go." And then when Malik sees these pictures, he kind of says it like, if nobody want to give me no answers, then I'll go to that school and I'll find it myself.
Right.
And then that's when he lets Mama Ayu know, like, I'm going to go to Cayman University because obviously you the plug, you're going to let me in. Because remember earlier, him and Mama Ayu and
Taryn.
Professor Bonclair was talking about getting him into the school and how summer sessions and Professor Terran Bonclair was like, it's too much. He can't get caught up. Summer session is already going. And Mama Aya is like, do this for me. It's a favor. I feel like if he go to that school,
you can't tell me
he'll be around kids. He'll be around kids that's his age that, he can get to learn his magic and learn the roots of his magic. They go that word again and learn how to control his magic. So that's why Tim and Terran, when she left, him and Terran kind of had that one-on-one. She wanted them to kind of meet and get with each other. And even though they didn't click, you know what I'm saying? Because he said he looked like one of them uppity Negroes. Right. So even though, they didn't click, he still decides to go to the school because it's going to give him more answers.
He apparently knows Mama Aya's got that pull. Right. And even Mama Aya said it. She's like, you're concerned about him losing control. What better way
for him to
get it under control than to be
go to Cayman?
At the school where he can learn how to control that. So he's on a new mission. He goes, these adults ain't shit in my life. They're not giving me the questions I want. I want to know what happened to my mom, dead or alive.
Right.
And so he's on a mission now to seek those answers. And that's what Act 2 is going to jump right into.
Yeah. So we can go through it again. It's like chapter 4, he's pulling up, he's leaving Alabama, and he's going to New Orleans. He's pulling up, y'all, right? So he's pulling up. He sees everybody. He sees Sam. He sees cousin Bridget. He sees everybody. He's pulling up. Just think about it. You pulling up to your family's house who you never met before. You seeing these people. You don't know who these people are. You going into the house. You're getting welcome. You're getting shown all of this love when you could have got that love shown to you before.
Yeah.
You
Showing
go at it with your grandmother for like 30 minutes as to why she didn't come. She's letting you know. You get baptized in your root of your magic. A lot of little Easter eggs is in there. Next thing you know, they throw a big festivity party for you to show you that
like
you
the next
home.
day. He's only there one night, and then y'all are pushing
That's
him
why
into
I'm
a family
breaking it in
reunion.
like this.
Yeah,
they have a family reunion for him when he comes there, and it's like y'all doing all of this stuff for me. Y'all not even really my family, or at least I don't consider y'all my family. Too little, too late. Then him and Mama Ayu had another conversation about his mother and what she was into. Next thing you know, Chancellor Bonclair comes through. Mama Ayu's begging him, not begging him, but kind of pleading with him to get Malik into the school. She's met with some regard. Him and Taryn have a conversation. He gets upset because he lets him know that he's kind of like his mother. And then Malik's like, all right. The next scene after that situation happened, him and Mama Ayu sitting and reminiscing about the mom, and he decides to go to the school.
Yep, he goes, I'm staying.
And that's pretty much it.
That's it.
And then we'll get into Act 2. Next week we'll get y'all Act 2, but that's pretty much it, man. I'm really enjoying rereading this book,
rereading it,
or re-listening to the book, because I miss so much now that I'm really paying attention to the small things, because we're gonna be talking about Bones at the Crossroads here in a few. And I have so many questions that need to be answered in this. Did
you notice the color change on
but let's talk about, we're gonna talk about that in another video.
Like I'm just like, the cover just made me have more questions.
Right.
So I'm thinking red is the Bane, but
well, we're finished Act 2, and hopefully y'all enjoyed the first act. And as we get into the second act, a lot more is going to happen. We'll be a lot more enthusiastic. It'll be a lot more, I hate your guts, God damn it, F you, and all of this extra stuff, the side eyes that she's giving y'all right now. So it'll be a lot more, man.
It's about to get crazy. We're gonna, we're in for a ride. I do remember a little bit, but it feels like I'm rereading it.
We're gonna meet new characters. We're gonna meet new students, and then when you get to college, it's gonna be a lot different, right?
Right. He's on his own for the first time. He got a cell phone for the first time. Oof. So
here we go. Cayman U got their own app, but let's not spoil it right now, right? But until next week, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Central Booking Podcast.